Onward, we moved into the 6th ring, the 6th circle, the 6th layer. Here resided the proud, without a prayer. Ahead of us, the horizon burned a flickering red, and below us lay a valley filled with screaming dead. Their shrieks so loud and shrill pierced me to the bone. Beyond this valley I knew there was another duke upon his throne. We moved into the valley toward the army of the dead, down towards those whom in life were misled. We moved down a long length of steps. They stunk of death and were made of human flesh. Each stairway led down into the riot of pride, each sinner a gross reflection of how they had died. Beneath their feet many sinners were stacked, and many more danced upon them, with slit throats, gouged eyes, and knives stuck in their backs. All these people walked with their heads up high, ignoring those beneath them and blocking out their cries. When one would fall, another would stand, to tread all over those who lay down on the land. They all suffered from various wounds, a fitting fate for the life they consumed. Some had wounds from blows to the head, others with slit throats with a dark shade of red. Others had knives that stuck out of their flesh, others of their backs, their necks, their stomachs and chests. Some had no eyes, no tongues, or no face, yet we still walked around with a feeling of grace. We set foot in the valley and moved through the pile of sinners so filthy, putrid, and vile. We walked past some men with no ears or no nose, trying to tread lightly upon those below. All those around us stomped and kicked upon those below them, so weak and sick. We walked slowly through the valley of the high and proud, stepping softly upon men, screaming so loud. And so through the crowd we moved on, men falling down to become the road to tread upon. It was then, dead ahead, we seen a giant orb of green, yet as we approached, I realized it was made of bodies all rotten and obscene. The bodies were twisted, bent, and tied into knots, and from them dripped bits of flesh as they would forever rot. But in the bodies there was a door, and beyond the door a room. Yet it was more like a crypt within a decaying tomb. All around the room were burning embers set into fleshy walls. They led up to the ceiling and onward down a hall. The hall led to a room so wide with a ceiling great and steep, and in the center of the room there was a pit so dark and deep. In the room dimly lit by burning embers so hot, I seen a cage hung by a chain above the pits of darkened drop. The chain ran through a pulley and on down to a hand garbed in a pure white glove, belonging to a man. It was not just the man's glove that was a blinding white. He also wore a suit and tie that stood out oh so bright. Yet only in the darkness did his suit brightly shine, for when it hit the embers of light, it turned to rags covered in grit and grime. In the darkness, his teeth were pearly white, just as was his suit, and his eyes were a piercing, beautiful baby blue. But in the light, his teeth turned to a rotting black, and his eyes were bloody and eaten out from some unknown attack. In the dark, he had long blonde hair that shone brightly in my eyes, yet in the light it turned to twisted horns, revealing his lies. Upon the man's face was a very sinister smile, and as he spoke to us with a cunning voice, so sneaky and so vile, he said his name was
Caesar,
the Master of the Proud, and when he seen my guide's face, our passage he allowed. He lowered the cage and opened the door for us to step in, and then down and down we were lowered, down into the pit. We were lowered on and on, deeper down and down, lowered for what seemed like miles, deep into the ground. Social media can be very unpredictable, especially regarding horror content. If this content gets removed, all new content will be simultaneously presented on various websites provided in the description to this video. Make sure to follow me in other digital spaces so that you never miss out on the terror. Also, if you like this video, make sure to leave a comment and hit the like button. It helps the channel a lot. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy what's here, consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. Writing is a dream of mine, and it's all of you that make that dream come true.